Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talking Reds. Myself, Hooks, back live again. Another week of drama. Another week of drama in a week that Liverpool become Premier League champions 20 times. Arsenal again letting. I'm sure Hooks is tired of this season. Letting Hooks down again. Letting the Arsenal fans down again. Despite the rally call. Despite the fans getting behind the midweek in the Champions League. Once again, on the big stage, Hooks failed to deliver. Again.
We haven't spoken about the first leg, have we?
No. That's the first time. That's what I'm saying. It's the first time we've seen each other since the Champions League, since we got officially crowned Premier League champions.
I was like, whoa, that's like, wait, haven't we spoken about this? I've spoken about it so much since it happened that I just assumed we already spoke about it. Oh no, yeah, like so. I mean, for me, there's another leg. Like, do you know what I mean? So I'm not too fussed about it. Like, I haven't like lost my head or crashed out or anything like that. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it's really a game that we should have won. We had a few chances that really and truly we should have put in the back of the net, but we didn't. I guess that just highlights a problem that a lot of the fan base have like made clear for like not even the whole of this season. Like, a lot of us were talking about it from last season as well. So, but it is what it is, man. Like, I feel like PSG, they played better than Arsenal for a large majority of the game. Probably the deserved winners on the balance of play. But something that led me to not really be too concerned in the first leg, and something that's like it's leading me to not really be concerned about the overall tires. They're not the most clinical of teams. You know this because you went up against them as well. Like, they had loads of chances where they could have just killed off the game. Enrique even made like positive substitutions around like the 65th, 70th minute to try and kill off the game, and they wasn't able to score. Like, they really and truly, their goal, like the space that Dembele had on the edge of the box, he wouldn't have that space if Partey was playing. So, and on top of that, it's one of those, hit and hopes. Like, it wasn't the cleanest of strikes, came off his shin, but it's like, if you don't shoot, you don't score. So, like, it's not like it was like some well-worked goal that kind of cut off.
Well, yeah, we want outplayed to concede that goal. Yeah, really, yeah, I get that. And you say that about not shooting times and trying to work the ball into net too many times, and I think you do that a lot.
Yeah.
And I noticed that yesterday watching the Bournemouth match. I thought there's so many times you've had a chance to shoot. You're just trying to walk the ball in net. And I think Wenger got heavily criticised for that, didn't he? At the end of his career, like, just trying to walk the ball in the net. And sometimes you just got to set shots. Do you think that's confidence, or do you think that's just sheer the ability of the players have got?
I don't think it's ability. I think it's instruction. Personally, I personally think it's at this point it can. Do you know what? At this point, I'm just thinking, like, if you shoot, do you get like a fine? Like, do you get fined for like shooting and not score? Because at this point, it's like, I don't know, man. Like, it just feels that way. I don't know, because like, look, like, all right, let's be honest, yeah. Like, these players, cool. Like, maybe some of them are out of form at the moment. Some of them having a poor season, but at the end of the day, they're playing football at the highest of levels. Like, for as poor as we've been this season, we're A, second in the Premier League, and B, in a semi-final of a Champions League. So, like, the players clearly have quality. Like, they clearly do. So so then I'm left baffled as to why we don't score more. And the only conclusion that I can come to is it must be instructional. Like, I can only imagine. So do you know what? Maybe it does play a bit into confidence, because I can only imagine the instruction is, unless you feel like
it's a guarantee,
keep the ball.
Yeah.
And because that's the instruction, maybe it's like, I don't think I can score here.
Yeah.
Let me pass off the responsibility to someone else. Do you know what I mean? And it's like,
I get. Yeah, no, you know why I think that could be true? Because I see it in Liverpool sometimes, the way Slot wants to keep the ball. There's been plenty of times where we've been on a counter attack this season, especially, and we've say they've got 3-on-2, and sometimes we've just turned around and gone backwards again.
Yeah,
and that is sheer instruction. That's sheer instruction from the sidelines, and I don't like that. I think under Jurgen Klopp would go full lever to try and get a goal off this. I don't know why he wouldn't on the counter attack, but there's a couple of times we've actually just turned back and gone back into midfield again and started again.
But the difference is, and I guess this is kind of the difference with like the Wenger teams of old as well, is because Arsenal have, like, this is not a new thing. This is not a new thing. We was doing this under Arsene Wenger. I mean, I guess the only difference, well, the two key differences for me under Wenger is that the football was just more attractive to watch. Like, even though we were still doing the whole keep possession, pass the ball around, try and find the best opportunity, the football was more attractive than what it is under Arteta. So I feel like that's what frustrates Arsenal fans a bit. And then under Wenger teams, you always had that player that just had their own little bit of magic.
I could do something, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whether it was Sanchez, Van Persie, even Adebayor. Like, I don't even need to go to the likes of Bergkamp or Henry. Like, Özil. Like, we had players that out of nowhere, that you don't even need to go that high. Aaron Ramsey. do you know what I mean? Like, we've always had players that they can take the game by the scruff of the neck. Now, and I guess this is kind of where it goes back to the system. Like, Wenger, I don't know. Wenger wasn't really a systemic manager. He didn't really play a system. He had a setup, and then he kind of just went, "Hey, be free, play with free."
Yeah.
Do you know what? I would say that, obviously, aside from like the heavy pressing that Enrique does, like, everything on the ball, it looks a lot more similar to Wenger than Arteta looks to Wenger, if that makes sense. So that is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hate to say it, but we still have a lot of work to do in the transfer window. There's something we need to change. Something needs to change in the club, because, like, the amount of injuries we've had this season is insane. Like, it's not normal. It's not normal to have 27 injuries in a season. Like, it's not normal. So there must be something.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah, there must be something going on in terms of like how we train, or the amount of minutes given to like players, like, or the lack of rotation. Like, these are things that will need to be addressed going into the next season. And me personally, obviously, depending what happens in the semi-final on Wednesday, my solution will be, it's time to bring a different manager in, because
I'm going to ask you that, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, at what point do you think, hang on, is that, are they actually taking you as far as you possibly and physically can under that manager? You can, like, you know, I think it's Arsenal fans, I think football fans in general, a lot of them go from one extreme to the other, and they don't need to go that extreme on one side. You know, you speak to Lee Gunner on a regular basis. How he goes too far in terms of, like, he wouldn't ever praise for the progress that Arteta's made at Arsenal, which he has. If you're honest with him, you was basically 7th, 8th from being a club that wasn't challenging for Champions League. You are now consistently challenging for a league title.
Yeah.
As weak as it may be this season, specifically to the title, but you are up there. Odds are you're going to come second 3 times in a row. And you've got to praise for that, but you've got to criticise as well. Like, this guy is stubborn as hell. It doesn't change it up. There's no tactical changes in game. He gives excuses when sometimes excuses can be used. I've said that before. Look, Liverpool, a lot of our fans said the same thing in that your position last year and the years before. Instead of, we should have been looking at the club first and foremost. You need to look in the mirror first. I said, look, over the years, when we've not addressed situations, we've gone into transfers and not really done enough in the season, then, officiating things might go against us. We might get injuries, but then we've got to look at ourselves. Why are we getting injuries when we're not really addressing the positions properly? You've done the same thing this season. You have got injuries. You've had injuries. It's a valid excuse. You have had big decisions against us, And I agree. I can't stand the PGMO. I can't stand the referees. I've called them out for a long time. I'll call them out whether it benefits us or not. But at the end of the day, you need to look at yourselves in the mirror. And you said you didn't address the striking position. You didn't address the foul position. You relied on Odegaard to be creativity when he just bottling every sort of big game that he's in. He's not a captain. Then you got to address that. And I don't agree like Odegaard being the scapegoat. I think a lot of people. I'm surprised. I want to speak to you about Martinelli, mate. Because Martinelli was the one that when he played us that game, and remember when he played absolutely sensational against us, and Klopp was after the game like, "Wow, this guy." Klopp really wanted him. He was that good. I'm going to bring up some more chat as well as we come on, but yeah, I want to try to get your thoughts on Martinelli and like what's happened to his trajectory.
Money is he's just Martinelli, is not good enough to be the start left winger for a team that wants to win the league. It's just that's call a spade a spade. Like I think he's someone that's very good to have in your squad as an option. He's very good to have in your squad as a backup. Like maybe someone there to rotate with someone that's better on the left wing. I mean, me personally, I still think that. Well, I still don't understand why he hasn't been given like a solid run of games as a striker. Because a lot of the good things you've seen from Martinelli across the years, it's been in central positions. It's very rare. It hasn't really been from the left wing. So I just don't. And maybe, and this is the thing, like Arteta's system doesn't allow for someone like Martinelli to play as a striker because Arteta's system's all about whoever's in the nine. They drop deep. They hold up the ball. They're more of a link man. It's a false nine, which I think he needs to change that going forward because it's
Yep.
just it. Whether it's the quality of false nine we have, or maybe the false nine is a role that's dying out, like how the 10, or at least the traditional 10, has died out in the English football.
Do you think you need better wingers for the false nine? I mean, look at us. When we played false nine with Bobby, we had Mane and Salah on either wing, who at the time probably two best wingers in the world.
But I mean, it was also at a time where like every game you're not going up against low block. Like
Yeah.
you was playing that trio when the Premier League was like the football was more like it was more open, more expressive. Like I think anything pre-COVID, like it's just a different Premier League in the sense of like how the game was played. I feel like after COVID, like I can't remember a time in my life watching the Premier League where everything was like so everyone's sitting back.
It's like attack v defense, isn't it, in training?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
those attack v defense drills you do in training. It's like that.
Like even like back in the day when like the Premier League was known for like having really aggressive, strong defenders. Even then, like it wasn't like it was never a team would like their whole game plan would be, oh yeah, we're gonna sit back.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it just wasn't the case. So I feel like the way the game has developed, you kind of need players who are better with the ball in tighter spaces, and Martinelli's not that. Martinelli's just not. He's just not that on the wing. So yeah, it's something else that we have to address. On the Martin Odegaard scapegoat thing, like I feel like now it's just come to the point where like he's played bad the entire season. Like it's not even post injury. Like even prior to the injury, he wasn't that great. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like we're now. It feels like Arteta is trying to like recreate like scenarios from like old seasons to try and bring him back to life, but it's just not working. Just like sometimes I feel like you just have to call a spade a spade. Like, yeah, sure, great. If it was like January and it's like middle of the season and there's nothing on the line at that moment in time, then all right, cool, you can keep on like persisting with it. But we're about to go into potentially the final game of our season, and you can't you can't watch how poor he's been throughout the whole season and then not try and change it to change your fortunes in potentially your final game of the season. Like that is, I don't know. It's like so if say we go into say we go in, I can probably like off the top of my head predict the lineup from now that we'll go with, and if we go with that lineup and we don't go through, then the only person that should be held accountable is Arteta. Because if I can predict the lineup and get it right from Sunday for the game on Wednesday, then Luis Enrique can do the exact same thing. So he's probably already preparing for that lineup. And that just shows how predictable Arsenal have become.
Easy to set up against, like same again.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so like I don't know, like even the last few games, I don't understand why Wanyeri hasn't been getting minutes. I don't know why he hasn't been getting starts because now we're in scenarios where it's like he kind of forces himself into these scenarios because it's like, cool, you've had 3 Premier League games where, let's be completely honest, none of them mattered at all. I still don't think any of them mattered. None of the results mattered. It didn't matter what happened in those games. Why are you not giving players like Wanyeri, or even though he's been crap this season, Sterling? Why are you Zinchenko? Why are you not giving these players proper minutes to give you a sort of a headache for the game that's coming up on Wednesday? Oh, you know what? Like, yeah, Martin Odegaard, he's been playing poor, but you know what? The last 3 games that I started Wanyeri. Oh, he's
His confidence is up. Yeah, his confidence is up. Yeah.
So now it's like, cool. Even if he doesn't start Wanyeri, it's like he can kind of know what to expect from Wanyeri because he's seen it. And it's like, okay, cool. I can bring you on in the 65th minute now with confidence because I know the last 3 games I've started you, you've given me, I don't know, 3 assists and a goal. So I know that you're feeling good at the moment. But at this current moment in time, he doesn't know anything about his players outside of his first 11. He doesn't know anything. And something that's really scary, especially in the last 2 games, is he played Merino in midfield. So in the game against PSG, the home tie, he played Merino in midfield. I didn't agree with it. I didn't think that's where he should have played, but he played him there. So I was like, all right, cool. It was one of the solutions. I don't think it was the right one, but it was one of the solutions that we could have gone with Partey being out. When he subbed on Merino in the game against Bournemouth, he brought him on in midfield. Like, he didn't bring him in to go striker. He brought him on in midfield. So it has me thinking, this guy, he might not play him up front. Because it makes no
That doesn't make any sense. No, because it's been working.
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing, and he's done this before. Like, it makes no sense. Like, why the hell would you? Okay, why the hell would you know that against PSG, I'm most likely going to play Merino up front? Why wouldn't you, in the game prior to that, make him play up front? This doesn't. I don't know. He's just some weird. Like, even one thing that he did in the Bournemouth game that made me think he's completely lost it. Yeah, and this is basics of football. He made a substitution on a set piece. You never do that.
No. No, you can't get yourself ready for it.
You never, ever do that. I'm not even a manager. I have no coaching badges. I know this. It's a basic. You just don't do it. But he did it. So it's making me think that he's losing the plot. I think he's losing the plot. Maybe the pressure's got to him.
Do you think he's actually becoming like Pep Guardiola? You know, Pep Guardiola used to do this, didn't he? In Champions League final, he sort of switched something around, like what you're doing. Didn't he play like De Bruyne felt like a Champions League final or something like that? Just to be different, or just to have the things get to us. I'm going to go for the chat now. Sorry, I do apologise, chat. Arsenal need to keep their eyes on Man City in the Premier League, also PSG in the Champions League. I mean, if you lose that second place, mate, in the league. And then actually, in fact, I did tweet yesterday. Actually, there's actually like a 0.056778% chance, something like that, you might come out of the top 5. The top 5. It's not going to happen. And I want to ask you about this actually, because obviously Tottenham and Man United are going to end up in the Europa League final. It's mad, but if one of those win it, say Tottenham wins it, they get Champions League football. They've won a Europa League trophy. Is that a more successful season than Arsenal?
Yeah, because they would have won a trophy.
It is, isn't it? But in terms of context, looking at the league and stuff, you've been better, obviously, throughout the season. But yeah, that's if the season ends like that,
I
that would just
personally
be
don't care.
peak.
Me personally, I don't care. Like me, the only like, and this is kind of the thing this is the one thing that kind of annoys me about the fact that I do content now, is that before I did content, I didn't care about well, Tottenham were winning nothing, so they're a bad example. But I didn't care that Manchester United won trophies. I didn't care that Liverpool won trophies. I didn't care that Chelsea won. I didn't care about these man winning trophies. It didn't like it was like, oh shit, Arsenal didn't win. Oh, okay. I'm a bit annoyed about that. But I actually didn't care about them winning trophies because I don't support those clubs. They have absolutely nothing to do with me. But now that I do content, it's like every day I must go
You
on a
deal with certain fans.
or
Yeah,
what
yeah.
what are you gonna do if Manchester United or Tottenham win something and you don't? Well, I'm gonna live my life. Do you know what I mean? I'll be annoyed because Arsenal. That's the first and foremost. Arsenal didn't win something, and then after that, it's like, okay, cool. I just go back on with my life now because I don't like. Why am I sad that Tottenham or United won something? I'm not sad about that. I'm sad that I didn't win something. But all the like, I'm gonna go stream to stream, and it's gonna be saying the same thing and the same thing, and like it's like it kind of makes football a bit dead because
Mm.
people do this like this banter thing where it's like football's not. It's not about banter. Do you know what I mean? It's just like football's not about banter, but everyone makes it banter. Like I'll go to my Twitter feed. Everyone, Man United, Chelsea, and Tottenham won their games. Arsenal. But why are we talking about Arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, these ones like Tottenham and Man United will say they'll win a game in the league, something like that. You see them ones like, not everyone could beat Ipswich at home or something like that. Not everyone can beat this at home. But you're lying in 14th, fucking 15th.
Yeah,
You can't really say just because you drew against one. You beat Everton, we didn't, for example. They'll say, oh, well, not everyone could beat Everton. Well, not everyone's fucking 14th, 15th in the fucking league. We're top of the league.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I don't mind losing. In fact, our draw to Everton actually made us win at Anfield in front of the fans for the title. So, or everything happens for a reason. That's obviously if you beat PSG. PSG look more potent than any other team. I think, yeah, if you beat PSG, go to Paris. I think, well, we went to Paris and won. In fact, we went over there, won, and took it back and lost at home to Anfield. At Anfield. So, and we thought, coming back to Anfield, it's done.
yeah,
And that proves to you there, no tie is over for me because we beat Paris in Paris, and we went to Anfield thinking like this is the stadium you want to be. We're taken to a lead,
yeah,
and we didn't even show up at Anfield. So they've had plenty of times in the past where they've bottled leads. They've beaten Champions League. They've never won the Champions League like you. So it's not like a pedigree thing that they've got here. That I said, oh yeah, they're going to go through because that's in their nature. PSG aren't like that. Yes, they've got a new team, but in terms of the club, like if you go into Liverpool, if you go to Real Madrid, or if you go to AC Milan, for example, you're thinking it's in their blood here to get through. You've been to Real Madrid and beat them in their own patch.
PSG have thrown away bigger leads in the
The
Champions.
Barcelona one comes
Yeah,
straight to mind. Yep.
bigger leads. So like, look, and this just proves the point that like online football fan culture has ruined football because everybody would have me believe that Arsenal have zero chance to go through because they're 1-0 down. 1-0 down.
That's it. It's one. Yeah, yeah. It's another 90 minutes. It's just forget the stadium, forget the moment. It's a 90-minute game again.
I just feel like a lot of people don't watch football. That's what I think
Yeah.
it is. I feel like a lot of people don't watch football. I feel like they just watch the internet and highlights. Because to think that a team, it doesn't even need to be Arsenal, to think that a team is completely out of a tie because they're 1 goal down is crazy. And when I see it from Liverpool fans, especially, I'm like, wait, but you was 1-0 up against Paris and got knocked out. That's proof in itself that being 1-0 up doesn't completely mean that the tie is over. So it's what I mean. It's just like, yeah,
We'd
everybody
be
wants
3-0 down in the final to AC Milan, who had like a globetrotter team at the time.
exactly. Exactly.
Basically, it's Gerrard and Alonso in the team. That was it.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Football's not about football no more. It's about who can get the one up on the other fan.
I was going to this, Abdul. What do you think about these senior players? Yaros, Davis, Kelleher. Who's H. Davis? Gomez, Simicas, Kwanzaa, Endo, Jones, Elliott, Martin. I think they've all, in the next 4 games, they've all got a point to prove. And I think Anna Slot in the conference the other day saying, look, these players in the fringe, they don't have a point to prove to me. They've got a point to prove to themselves. And if they want to be in the team, you've got to play better. Be better. If you want to be a starting player, you've got to be better. That's as simple as that. And if, most of them, for me, Nunes, I think, is gone. Martin's gone. Simicas has gone. Kelleher's gone. Gomez potentially gone. And likes of like Jones, Elliott, Chiesa. I feel bad for Elliott. I don't think he's had enough time. Chiesa, again, I don't think he's had enough time to prove himself. Jota's been shit this year. So this is why people are saying, like, if Jota goes, then fair enough. Because usually Jota, when he is fit, he plays well. Arsenal fans know that. He'll tell you right there, Jota is a big headache for Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
But this season is when he has played, he hasn't made up for the time that he hasn't been unavailable this season. But that's not usually like him. But injuries probably caught up with him, if I'm honest, with that. We need to use Endo, Chiesa, Keller, and Quanta. I think we will expect that today. I won't surprise if it's not changed the things today, but I think he wants to still keep it strong because he's got expectations, he's got standards, and you've got to remember Salah's going for big achievements here. He's going for Henry Cooks. Can Salah get Henry level? Can Salah get the Henry? Henry got 25 goals, 20 assists. Was it? Salah's now on 28 goals, 18 assists, which is ridiculous, by the way.
I mean, in his last 6 games, he's only got 1 assist.
And that's how, it just shows how good he was before, And
the thing is, like, I personally don't care if he matches or breaks the record. Because Henry isn't Henry to me because of that record. And Salah will never be Henry because he breaks that record. So I think it's just, again, fans doing the online banter fan culture thing. It's like, do you know what? It's mad, yeah? Like, I support a team that everybody tells me is crap, underperforming, dead, doesn't win anything, going to win nothing. But all of the comparisons are always with my team. Like, even when, like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you've seen it. Every time Cole Palmer scores a goal, what did Saka do? But it's like
we got the same with Salah. Yeah, we got the same with Salah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's like, do you know what? I honestly, I don't care. I think Mo Salah he's a nice guy. So obviously, all the best to him. If he can do it, go and do it. Because my issue is not with Salah. My issue is with the fan base. But if you can go and do it, go and do it. But even he himself will say, Henry is light years ahead of me. So I don't think that the record matters in my opinion.
In terms of, I always when I talk about greatness, right? Talk about Premier League greatness. So we might discuss this one time. So when I talk about Premier League greatness, it's everything together. It's like the ability, not just the ability. It's the ability, trophies, legacy, in records come into it as well. I think everything together, the impact on teams, the impact on the league, impact on the world, comes into greatness, in terms of Premier League greatness. But being a better player is different. This is why the Gerrard comparisons with like Lampard, so it's so disrespectful to Gerrard. Gerrard is by far the better player. Stick Gerrard in any of those teams, they probably win more, if I'm honest. He's that good of a player. Stick Lampard and Scholes in Gerrard teams, we won't win all. That's where there's 2 different arguments. There's either the better player, there's player that if you're choosing 11, which player you're playing. And Gerrard will get picked. Henry probably will get picked over Salah. If you start playing, you probably pick both of them to me because Salah plays on the right. But if you're picking one player only, you probably will pick Henry. However, when it comes to greatness, Salah's building that greatness as a legacy, if that makes sense. Legacy is different to me to actual ability. I think it includes everything. So I think Salah is he's closing in on Henry's legacy because of adding more golden boots and things. I did a thing yesterday what records that Salah's actually got. I think he's joining Henry on most golden boots this season with 4. Is if he wins PFA Player of the Year, he's got the most ever PFA Player of the Year. We did how many goals is behind. I think we think he might come second in the all-time top goal scorer and assists. I think it's like maybe 3rd or 4th or something like that. Did one yesterday. That's coming out today at 2:00. So make sure you watch that, everyone, if you are watching. So yeah, everything together, the Henry Salah debate is probably there to be had for greatness in terms of legacy, but in terms of player, I think it is. I think it is not as light years as ahead as you think it is, but in terms of better player, I always think Henry's a better player.
I don't even know about the legacy, because then when you talk about legacy, you have to bring in context. Henry was playing against much better defenders. Henry was playing against much better teams. Henry played in a period of time where it was harder to do all the things that he did. If Henry was playing in the Premier League the same years that Salah was, Henry would have broken all of his records from back then. All of his records from back then. So it's like, cool. Do you know what it is? I just feel like Liverpool need that player. And that's why they cling on to Salah so much and try and put him in the same conversation as Henry. But Henry he's different. Like, he's just different. Like, it can't even. Do you know, people that try and battle the case too much, I firmly believe that they never watched Henry play. Like, they actually just never. Like, I've seen Henry do mad stuff on a football pitch. I watched Henry stand on a football during a live 90-minute game of football and then continue to break through a whole team. I've watched Henry run from his half all the way to the goal and score by himself. You'll know this one. I've seen Henry absolutely destroy Carragher in a foot race when Carragher had like a 20-yard
Yeah, that was mad.
Like, Henry, yeah, Henry is like, he's a legend in the sense that all you have to do is, you watch CBS now. Look how many look how many players that come on and say, "Oh, Henry, you was my idol. Henry, I looked up to you. Henry."
To be fair, Salah will have the same thing in 20 years' time.
No,
he will have the same thing in 20 years' time. I'm telling you.
I think maybe for like I don't know, because Salah's not like, I don't want to sound like I'm disrespecting Salah, but he's not like he's not.
You're trying to hype Henry to what he deserves the hype.
He's not a great.
You're not trying to put down Salah at the same time. Yeah, okay.
He's not a great footballer. Like, footballers won't look up to Salah in terms of like how they play the game. They might look at Salah like, okay, he's very clinical and clutch in scenarios, and they may want to, but you can't learn clutchness.
Do you know I think you're being quite harsh on Salah there. I think you're being very harsh on Salah there.
I don't know. He's not renowned for being like when I say good footballer, I mean like when you watch like how, like, for example, R9 never won a Champions League, but is Salah better than R9 because Salah won Champions League?
Champions League, yeah, I don't get that's not an argument for me. You got to watch the eyes. If you watch a full team with a thing, but I think what you're doing, I think Salah is a great footballer, but it's not his fault that he's in the time that he's in. If that makes sense, he might have not worked in the time that he did, but that's not his fault either. He's playing in what he's playing in now, the time that he's playing now. I think tactics and everything like that have taken over more than actual individual ability. We've seen that. This is why football isn't as. I don't think it is as entertaining. I don't think it is. I don't think the football's as good. You've got to be a physical athlete these days to be a footballer. I mean, look, we've got Nunes up front. He wouldn't even get in Portsmouth's team back in Premier League.
But you can even argue the same for Salah. I feel like Salah took advantage of Klopp's system suited Salah to a T. You can just look at Salah prior to walking into Klopp's system. It's
But I think he's
night
even improved
and
in the slot
day.
system now. Is
It's night
improved
and
in the
day.
slot system. He's not doing the defending that he used to do under Klopp.
No, I'm talking about Klopp. Because Klopp is where Salah built his name. He built like Salah wasn't this world beater before he came to Liverpool, and then he went into a Klopp system that highly suited Salah. So imagine, so for example, if Salah went into Chelsea at the time, he wouldn't. He actually played for Chelsea and was nowhere near the Salah that he was at Liverpool under Klopp because Klopp's system suited him. This is the thing. I feel like there's a little bit of like ignorance that a lot of football fans, and before people lose their minds, Salah deserves his props in it, but no one's gonna sit here and tell me that he's a better footballer than Henry, that he's a better footballer than the likes of R9, Ronaldinho, Neymar. Like he's just not better. He's just not better at football than these people. But these people don't have his records. There's loads of footballers that you can go through that have played across all. For example, I know they play different positions, but look at the likes of Kaká. Now, if we're talking footballer, Kaká is clear. But then people will say Salah is better than Kaká because they'll go, but that season he scored this many goals.
And that's where people get mixed up with being ability. I said this, ability and legacy. Legacy is everything together. Legacy is the impact on the team. Is it does include stats. It includes the stats, awards, everything like that. It includes your trophies. It includes playability as well. But ability is just ability,
Is
and
Salah
that's
better than
why.
Gerrard?
Yeah, that in terms of legacy, yeah, probably. But in terms of being a better player, no. In fact, Gerrard's not even the best player I've seen at Liverpool in terms of ability. That's Suarez.
Okay, is Salah better than Suarez?
No, not as ability. No.
So look,
But
but when I
being a Premier League, being a Liverpool great is greatness is bigger. If that makes sense, because it's legacy. Does that make sense?
okay, what about his legacy as a footballer?
He's probably got the best legacy at Liverpool in my lifetime.
No. I mean, as a footballer,
as a footballer.
So his legacy as a football. So he's played because we're forgetting Suarez at Barca was.
I'd say in terms of legacy for the Premier League is definitely top 3. In terms of legacy, in terms of everything together, his ability, and plus obviously the constant awards he's getting constantly is being pushed for a Ballon d'Or this season. If he gets a Ballon d'Or, that's just even adding to his name. I think it includes everything for me.
Unfortunately, I don't think he will get it. And
I know it's a shame. That's because I think Liverpool going out in Champions League was the key thing.
That's probably why. Like and it's a shame, innit? Because you can tell that that's like the final piece that Salah kind of wants for his like.
He probably deserves it after the season that he's had.
I mean, I think he probably should have won it the season that you actually won the Champions League. That one there was a bit confusing.
I thought Mane were better that season though.
Yeah, but I mean, if there ever was a season that a Liverpool player was going to win,
would have been that.
The rhetoric is always the person that wins the Champions League is usually the person that wins the Ballon d'Or. That's usually the rhetoric.
Yeah, it's a shame how that happens. It's like the same with this season. If you look at the manager, Slot's getting it, but then you could argue that Nuno probably could get it at Forest, but then they've dropped off a cliff and they've given everyone else an opportunity now. But
you know what? Just quickly, an interesting one, because obviously people want to split legacy and ability and act like ability doesn't play a part into legacy. Who's had the better Premier League legacy, Kevin De Bruyne or Salah?
You've got to put everything together. I think with legacy, his ability. I said, look, I did a show on this actually. What legacy and difference between legacy and actually being a good footballer is. Ability is part of legacy. You've got to be a good footballer to be in there, but legacy comes with trophies. It comes with individual awards, which you can't forget. You can't forget individual awards at all. You've got impact on the team, impact on the league, impact on a global scale. I think that's an interesting one because obviously De Bruyne's got more team trophies. De Bruyne as a footballer, I think midfielders are just better footballers in general sometimes anyway, because they're smarter and things like that. I think on their path, I think Salah's the best right wing in the world. De Bruyne is he the best midfielder in the world? He has been. So it's quite level in terms of ability, in terms of the positions that they're in. You got to make context there. De Bruyne's got more team trophies. Salah's probably got more individual trophies. I think it is quite close. I think in terms of Premier League legacy, I think if Salah wins, like I said, if he wins a Ballon d'Or, wins another PFA Player of the Year, that is basically carried Liverpool to a title this season. Has De Bruyne ever carried City to a title? He had a big impact on it. Maybe not carried.
I mean, if you take Kevin De Bruyne out, especially the early years,
Yeah, you take anyone out of the team, a good player.
Yeah,
but did he carry them specifically?
I don't know. I just like obviously, obviously. Do you know what it is? Everybody always has an issue when it's an Arsenal player involved in it. Like everybody loses their mind when it's an Arsenal player involved in it. So I thought I would take it to a non-Arsenal player because
yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. I think it's close, but I still think Salah will get it in the end.
Okay, so then where do you rank Salah against people like Alan Shearer?
Shearer, Premier League title, biggest goal scorer. I'd say just above him. In terms, I think he will finish above him again this season. If you look at this season, next season potentially as well, like another golden boot to his name. Shearer has got the most goals, but did he ever win? I think it was spread out over a lot of more years. I think he only won. Did he ever win? Like how many golden boots he got? 2.
Yeah, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
2. I think in fact I saw something the other day actually. Lineker was speaking to him one day, and they said, "Look, yeah, he scored 20 plus goals in consecutive seasons." Salah's done that. Salah's done that in like 7 consecutive seasons now.
Yeah. So see, do you know what? This is why. Do you know what? This one reason is why I need Liverpool fans to err on the side of caution of how they judge Salah and his legacy versus other players, because the reasonings that they're given, if Haaland stays here for another 3 more seasons, he will clear Salah's legacy. Absolutely clear it in terms of like individual records, goal scoring stats. He may not do the assists, but he will definitely do the goal scoring stats. And that's the thing. Like all the Liverpool fans, well, actually, let me not say all, because there are a lot of Liverpool fans that I talk to that go, I don't care about Salah's numbers. There's no comparison.
It just adds to legacy. That's all it does. It doesn't tell you the ability of the footballer. You can get a player that can score tap-ins.
I'm just saying, be careful making stats and individual accolades as your barometer, because then when Haaland stays for another 3 seasons and absolutely blows all of that out the water, you won't have a leg to stand on.
I think you got to take in context as well the type of goals people score. It does got to come into context. I think Salah doesn't really score tap-ins. I think Alan's probably just a bagsman. He's just a bagsman. He's just a striker, and that's what you want, a striker up front to do that, to score the goals. But you won't see him take players on like Salah and then put it in the bottom corner, top corner, something like that. That wouldn't happen. So I think that it does. Everything does come into conclusion. I think a lot of people do focus solely on stats, but for me, like I said, Henry is always going to be a better player than Salah because he's just a better player, technically better player. You know, abilities wise. If I'm picking an 11 tomorrow, you know, the first 3 players on my team sheet in terms of Premier League is probably like Gerrard, Henry, and some. You know what I'm saying? So, but that again, legacy and ability. Ability goes into legacy, but it's a separate individual. If you talk about ability, that's why Matt Letizia is probably one of the best strikers in Premier League history in terms of ability, but it never won out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a bit. Oh, do you know what? Yeah, this is why I like talking to people that are not so young, because you can pull out names like Matt Letizia, and loads of people are like, "Who's that?" And they would have never seen him play football, but this guy was absolutely insane. What a player! What a player!
I mean, the best player I've seen live, the best player I've seen live, and I've seen Salah Mane live, is Bobby Firmino in terms of ability.
Yeah, he like, and you know what, Bobby Firmino, yeah. And this may be my hot take, but I feel like if Firmino wasn't there, Mane and Salah don't get as many goals as what they did get.
No, not in that time, no. He was a system. I did liken him to Bergkamp at the time. No disrespect to Bergkamp, just the way he played was Bergkamp-ish. Bergkamp was a different level. If Bobby Firmino did that, if he stayed and kept at that level for that time, then I might compare him alongside Bergkamp. But he played like Bergkamp, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Everything went through him. And that's what you need players like that sometimes. So the league is becoming more harder and physicality and pace. That's why Salah is there. I think with the league, but football's been like that now. All you need to be. I think Michael Owen said it. Michael Owen, of all people, actually made sense saying it. He said, "All you need to do now is be an athlete."
Yeah.
Like I said, we've gone from Michael Owen, Robbie Fowler up front, players like that. Even Eske. I know Eske was actually suit now, actually, for the physicality of things. But we've come with proper ballers up front to. Now we've got Darwin Núñez as our number 9.
Yeah.
Darwin Núñez would not get anywhere near the team 30 years ago. Over Fowler Owen.
You've even got, this is the thing, yeah. You've even got players inside of Liverpool that have played for your club that if they played for your club the same years that Salah played for your club, they clear all of his numbers. Imagine a Michael Owen or a Robbie Fowler, none of the injuries that they had play in the same time frame as Salah. They would absolutely destroy this version of the Premier League.
I think they would, but then that's not fair on Salah either. He's just doing what he's against.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, and
Yeah.
don't take that away. And
it's different eras, isn't it? It's different kinds of football. Yeah.
Compare eras, but it's not me that started the conversation. It's the Liverpool fans that started the conversation between Salah and Henry. I don't even know why they mentioned Henry. Henry's been retired for ages. They need to be talking about players that are more around now, or I don't know. They drew for Henry, so you just have to remind them sometimes that. Do you know what I mean?
I get it. I get it. When you come for your best player like that, and I'm the same. If some people come for Gerrard, I'll defend his ground for I've done it for years and years and years. And all they do is I didn't win the Premier League, didn't win the fucking Ryan Brewster won the fucking Champions League. It's not a big thing. You know what I'm saying? You can't throw two trophies on. And this guy, not only win the Premier League, he still was in did he come third in the Ballon d'Or or something like that to Xavi and Messi or something? This Gerrard won more individual trophies than all those midfielders combined in a shit team. Imagine what individual trophies he would have won if he actually succeeded in that team.
Yeah. Or if you brought Gerrard into this current Liverpool team.
It'd be different. That's what I'm saying. I've always said with the Gerrard thing, and people put Lampard stats up. And Mike Richards said it, actually. Mike Richards said it's chalk and cheese. He's played on the field with both of them. It's chalk and cheese. He said Gerrard's clear. He said if you put Gerrard in that Lampard team and play in that system, that number 10 role, he'll score way more goals and assists.
See? So now do you understand why I don't really care about Salah's numbers? Because you have the perfect...
Yeah. But then Liverpool fans there's Liverpool fans out there that will push the Salah stats, but then we'll have that same conversation about Gerrard.
Yeah, I know.
It's hypocritical, but I'll be honest about that. I'll always be honest. I base Salah on his all ability and his stats, and it all comes together in terms of legacy, stats, ability, trophies, individual trophies. It all comes together for legacy. But in terms of ability, I don't think he's better than me. If I'm picking a team tomorrow, I'll pick Henry in front of him. But in terms of legacy, I think he's going to push Henry. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
I think we've got to be the same energy's got to be had for every single item I have. You can't push stats on one night, and then when Gerrard comes around, not push stats. It makes zero sense. But then we've had the same with Man United. I've had the same argument with Man United fans. They push team trophies, but then I see Liverpool fans aren't pushing team trophies as a barometer. It's not a barometer. You've got to use your eyes. You've got to watch football. Like I said, I don't think people watch football these days. It's a lot of base. There's a lot. You might as well just go on the whoscored.com, see the rating, and then I see people saying, "Oh, he had a good game that game," and then, "Oh, yeah, why do you think he had a good game?" And then they post in an 8.5 from whoscored.com. It's like, You know what? Can you not fucking come up with your own opinion? Like, can you not watch the game and just come up with your own score, your own lead? You know what I'm saying? It's mad. It's mad. I swear, a lot of people haven't kicked the ball these days.
Yeah.
And it really absolutely shows in their opinions of football. Salah scored more scores from open play this first season with us as the best in the world. You don't have to look far. Even Gakpo from the same team has better open goal ratio than Salah this season. But yeah, we can't knock Salah's for he's just doing what he's doing in a worse era. Yes, that's not his fault, but I think his legacy has got to be held up there because he is doing incredible things, and he has this season been the main reason why we are league champions. And I'll like Gerrard will always be my favourite player because of his ability, but I think Salah could push him for that legacy. But again, if Gerrard was in his team, he'd have a different legacy, wouldn't it? It's a shame in terms of team trophies anyway, which is a shame. It deserved more. I'm an Arsenal fans, but Henry and Salah is a goat of different eras. Salah can't be ever a gifted player as Henry, but Salah doing his way by putting those crazy numbers. We got to respect that. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I've got but respect, but you got to understand the different eras. I think you've got to live both different eras to understand it as well. If I'm honest,
Yeah.
you can't be 17 years old now and look at highlights of Henry on Gerrard and people like that and say and have a proper opinion. You can have an opinion, but not a proper. You got to watch the full 90 to. And that's not fair on the youngsters in that argument. But don't go in the argument then.
Yeah, it's that simple.
Not with full chest. You can't go in arguments with full chest unless you've actually watched both eras. And this is why people like myself and Hooks and other people at our age get nostalgia kicks a lot because they were literally better footballers back then. You know, you don't get even Aldinios now. It's actually not Mr. Damon's my first name, so it's not Mr. Damon. Great comment, Zul. Salah should run like everyone else and play for 90 to 60. I'm just going to Zul one. I didn't see it much. But yeah, it is what it is. It is an interesting debate to have, though. It is an interesting debate to have. And if people like us that are actually like-minded and also not pushing certain agendas, we can have a proper debate about it, which is it's really good, actually. Let's have a look at something. That's some mad comments coming in the comments. I don't know if Fox is going to see the comments, but it is mad comments coming in. But yeah, what's your thoughts then going into this week? We've just won 20 titles. It is literally riding on all on Tuesday, isn't it, for you? Is it Tuesday or Wednesday play? Wednesday this week.
We're Wednesday this week. So Wednesday is sort of like I'm calling it sink or swim for Arteta personally. Like we either go through or we go out. If we go through, we got something else to play for this season. If we go out, then season done, and it's pretty much that simple. To be fair, like you know, I can't be any more. I don't know. Like that just is what it is. Like it's literally it. Like as an Arsenal fan, I feel like because I'm still in something, it's kind of hard to be angry or annoyed or upset.
Yeah. It's not over yet, is it?
Yeah, because it's not over yet. But once it is over, regardless of whether it's like positive or negative, then that's when the emotions will come out. But because I already my stance for a long time has been we either win something and then the whole kind of perspective on Arteta changes from the fan base, or we go another season without winning anything, and then it's like it's time to just call out the elephant in the room, innit? So
Yeah.
and whether that gets handled by Arsenal or not is a different story. But you know, in this like there's no real way for us to kind of like control it. Like I can be as angry as I want. I can make as many videos as I want, saying, "Oh, Arteta needs to leave Arsenal" or whatever. At the end of the day, the club don't care about that. All the club care about is what the club cares about, innit? So, yeah, man, it is what it is. But while we are still in something, I'm still gonna go on my merry way. I'm obviously gonna go into the game on Wednesday, very positively, hoping that I'll be able to, make something of my season. And if I don't, then hey, I'm going to America in July, so I'll have a nice bit of time to put all of that to the side and
detox.
Yeah, detox, and then by the time I come back, it'll be like a few days off until Actually, wait, no, the transfer window opens in June, right? Is it June?
Yeah, it's been moved forward because of Real Madrid trying to get Trent. Yeah, been moved forward by Real Madrid because they literally run football, so they can do what they want.
Oh man, so yeah, man, it just is what it is, man. Like at this point, there's nothing that I can do about it. I can't make Arsenal go through or not, but I'm definitely gonna be the one who everyone's gonna be. Oh, come on, can you come on my show? Come on my show, oh, Hooks. I need you on my show. I need you. I need you on my show, Hooks. Come on my show, and it's like, do you know what I mean? No, he's not going to be on the watch along, but I'm going to do a match reaction afterwards. So that'll be fun. KG is either KG is going to be roasting me, or I'm going to be, well, if Arsenal win, then I already know. He's going to do the Mr. Fate, going to pull the famous man card and and say, oh, can we delay and do it another time? I know it's going to happen.
Either way, it's going to be a good watch. Either way, it's going to be a good watch. Yeah. So make sure you do go onto Halftime Hooks now, get subscribed to his channel, and make sure you do watch that watch along. Are you doing a watch along? You're doing a watch along, aren't you?
No, I don't. Well, I don't know if I do the watch. I might do the watch along. It's do you know what? Do you know why I don't want to do the watch along?
In case it all goes pits.
No, it's not even that. I don't have somewhere to watch it where I'm like on time, if that makes sense. So because I won't be on time, like there's gonna be loads of people coming into the chat. Oh, what do you know what I mean? And just like completely ruin the game. So I think I'd rather just not. I think I'd rather watch the game without having anyone be able to ruin it for me. Like even if I go onto like Lee Gunner's channel and do the watch along there, they might be ahead of me, and then obviously they're reacting.
Yeah. You know
what I mean? So yeah, but we'll see, man. We'll see.
Thanks, Hooks. Anyway, thanks for joining. Everyone else, thank you everyone for joining in the comments. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you do like the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also get over to Halftime Hooks as well and join his channel and join his village as well. And make sure you do watch his match reaction on Wednesday night. It's going to be a fun week, another drama full week. I'm absolutely certain about that. But Liverpool fans, relax. Today is your first Guard of Honor. The Guard of Honor tour starts today for Chelsea. Let's humble them a little bit, and then we'll watch Hooks give his Guard of Honor next week.